All right, I think we got everybody on. Let's get started, guys. This is episode 41. We've been doing this 41 weeks.
I know.
Nuts.
That's crazy to think about.
Let's jump into past clients and Sphere. We talk a lot about Google PPC. We talk about automation when the lead comes through AI, but dude, I think this may be the first time we talk about past clients.
I think it is.
Right?
Yeah.
So
Kind of ironic.
Well, I know it's crazy, and it's still the number one source of business, past clients and Sphere referrals.
Yeah, as it should be, as it absolutely should be.
Which
I think,
guys, I still want AI for past clients and Sphere. Like that's what I want.
Well, it re-engages existing leads when they do stuff. So
yeah,
I mean, you can use it for that.
It's like the settings exist, right? Like the settings exist, so you can use the AI. I don't know a ton about what those conversations have looked like, to be honest with you. I've had a lot of exposure, but there's probably room for growth in that department.
When we think about past clients, though, realistically, we as agents do a pretty bad job of following up with them. Let's be honest. I mean, how many times do we close a transaction and forget to follow up with someone? What we could use Chime for is using the smart plans to stay in front of our past clients. But I think we should probably have a talk about on this webinar what we should be sending to people. I think that should be really the important part, because we all know we should do it. We should talk about what we should use. So maybe that would be a fun direction.
Yeah, and you know what? I'm going to share my screen because there's a section. Let me get there. First, let me open up and share my screen. All right. Just on the main section, you see smart plan emails, right?
Mm-hmm.
You guys can click on this right here, and then it takes you to this awesome section. It says after closing. That's the easiest place you can start.
Right.
It already has them made up for you. Now look over here. Buyer lead after closing, buyer lead closing anniversary, seller lead after closing, and seller lead closing anniversary. I mean, there's also other stuff and it changes on the right, but I would say, dude, guys, would you start here after closing, or would you start in nurture?
After closing?
Yeah, probably use an after closing smart plan, and once it finishes, let it automatically trigger like a nurture plan.
That's
good idea. Good idea. So once this is done, it automatically goes into a deeper nurture, longer term type thing. I like that. I like that.
Tristan,
go ahead.
How often do you follow up with your past leads, your past clients?
Dude, probably twice a year. That's probably how, when I personally text them or call them, but not very much. It's usually for an event that we're calling them, or it's usually to wish them like happy Thanksgiving or happy New Year. But everything else is automated.
Sure.
Something
Randy,
that would be,
I would ask you, but
well, I think something that should be discussed in terms of how you use your smart plans in the past client follow-up. You know, now that we've added the ability to send physical mail, you know, I wonder how many people since that time have gone back into their smart plans and added the physical mail piece into the past client follow-up, especially if you've got, you know, if you're using it for like a set date or like a birthday. You know, it's one thing to send a text or an email, but for me personally, every single card that I've ever been sent that has any form of or indication that it was handwritten or deliberately sent to me, I keep. I have a drawer in my house that Ariel was not happy about me, about finding out and seeing how many letters I had in there. But I keep every single one of those.
That's all it takes for you to hold on to a letter, is all we have to do is handwrite something. I'm gonna remember that.
Dude, I keep every handwritten letter.
Seriously?
I'm serious.
Tristan and I this
appreciate the
afternoon.
value. I appreciate the time and effort people put into that stuff. Now that being said, I have 742 unread text messages.
Right.
So the time and effort that people put into text me isn't that important. But a physical letter, I'm in.
No, you just touched on something though. And this is very valuable. And those listening should pay attention to this. Go to your mailboxes today, or if you're like me, you have to walk to a mailbox. Because in Oklahoma, you basically have to take a horse. Anyways, go to your mailbox today and figure out how many pieces of mail that you have physically. And then go into your inbox and tell me how many you have in your inbox on your computer. It is ridiculous. It is ridiculous, the difference. Nobody sends mail anymore. And so Randy brought up a really valid point, and I doubt many people have done this. And this is something everybody should do like right this second. If you have a past client, a smart plan that's going out, throw in some cards in there. Everybody asks like, well, how do I know how do I put their birthdays in there? You should be collecting that like on a client intake form. When you go to fill out an offer, create a client intake form. Name, phone number, email address for both parties. If there's 2 parties on it, put birthdays on there. If they're married, have an anniversary on there, that kind of stuff. You can ask for that information. They'll give it to you if they want to. Then take that and put it in your Chime site. Then, like Randy mentioned, on their birthday, send them a card. On their anniversary, send them a card. You can do all kinds of stuff with mail, and that's just staying top of mind.
And also, are you not Facebook friends or social media friends with your past clients? I'm just saying it's very easy to find out birthdays via social media. One of the notifications I check every day is whose birthday it is.
And you missed.
I usually don't do anything with that information, but I like to see it.
I was just gonna say, Ed, you missed mine? No.
No, I usually do nothing. I'm like, oh, how about that? Didn't know that. Move on. Sorry.
It's interesting though that you should be able to, if you can capture birthdays and stuff like that. Those are all great things. But Chime doing the postcards now, that is a huge success. Really happy that it rolled out.
Is that part of the whole postcard that they already had? They just added that to send out to everybody, or how does that work?
So we had a manual process for sending postcards, but now if you go into Smart Plans, you can add a step and and you can design a postcard and everything, and it'll just automatically send.
Oh, nice.
Yeah, so that can be automated now. So you could go in there and automate so if you're currently doing a smart plan for someone's birthday now, that was an email or text or something, you could go in and update it or change it to a postcard if you wanted.
Oh, that's really cool.
Awesome.
I love that. And
Just
can we design them? Because I'm looking at the designs here. I'm just gonna.
Yep. So you can design them from scratch. You can use a template, or you can upload your own design that may already exist.
That's so cool.
Under tools, you have the design set. First, I went to the little airplane, right? The little paper airplane.
Yep.
My favorite icon.
Dude, me too. Although at the beginning, I always got the paper airplane confused with the little house. I was like, yeah, anyway.
I mixed it up with the 4 squares personally.
Really?
I did.
Isn't that the website one?
Yeah.
Yeah.
All right, cool. Then you go over to tools, then you have these right here. You have Design Center, and then you have all these options. I know some people are freaking out and like, we have this. I'm like, yes, we do. The letters, the newest, which personally, guys, I think the letters are money. This is what people open. If most people are like Randy when it comes to letters, you better be writing a lot of letters, because that's pretty badass. Look, here are the handwritten postcards, right? And I love this, man. This is so cool that this was finally done. I'm gonna just open up preview. I'm gonna preview that one and zoom in, just so you can see what's there. And then there you go. This is super cool. Why did it take you guys so long to do this?
Whoa, you create your own CRM and tell me how quick you
I'm just saying, why? Brett, they were slow to this. I'm just joking.
All right.
I'm keeping my mouth shut on this one.
Hey, we have it now. Okay, it's there for you.
Cool.
I'm literally stuck in the middle of this. If you've noticed.
Yeah, yeah.
And while you're on here, you also have text codes. And just so you know, here under the tool designs, you can add a new text code. I know a lot of other companies have this as a whole. Just this is a company on its own, text code. and it's
Yeah.
right there, right?
So here's a fun one for you on these text codes. I'm glad you brought this up, Tristan. So I never put phone numbers on my signs. So like when I had my signs, my phone number would never go on. I'd never have a phone number on the sign. So on the listing sign itself, no phone number, no email address, there'd be the website. But below that, on a text writer, I would put a text for information. No flyers, none of that stuff. Why? It's proactive versus reactive, right? If someone takes flyer, that's reactive. We don't know who took the flyer or 40, which is in most cases. You always have to refill them. But if the person takes that, there's no way for us to reach out to that person. On the other hand, if someone texts the text code, they go to a landing page. That landing page is usually for the property. It's the most up-to-date, has price improvements, has all that stuff on there. And the best part, the AI can start following up. So immediately, now that's proactive. We're reaching out to that person. I'm a huge fan.
Very true.
I
Very
remember as a
true.
little kid, if we drove by a house that had flyers in it, my mom would stop and say, "Randy, go grab a flyer." We never
And you'd
bought
grab
any of
the whole
those
box.
houses. Yeah, we would just go grab a flyer, and that would be the end of that.
Well, that's so
See,
funny.
Randy, you're going to be too young for this. I'm almost too young for this. Tristan will remember this. Do you remember the automated recordings, Tristan?
Yeah.
Where you'd go up and they'd have the call for information, and it would be an automated recording about the property.
Oh yeah.
Yeah,
dude, of course. I remember
those are
that.
outdated.
That's funny. That's
Yeah.
interesting, dude. You know, on this, because I think that we can go a little bit deeper on the tools. When
Mhm.
we go and take a look at, this is for past clients in Sphere. When we go in here and we take a look at reports, right? Reports. What I like to do is go to create new design, right? And let's say you click on that, and now it says, well, what do you want to do? Well, instead, what you want to do is throw in something, let's say from, I'm just going to go to keeping current matters, right?
Sure.
Yeah.
Because everyone uses keeping current matters. We got the buyer and seller guides. If it ever loads, there it is. You just download it from here. Here's the buyer's guide, upload the seller guide. And now you're over here. You can send that out too from here, right? You can do
Yep.
whatever you want. This is what I love about this whole section. It's just untapped. And I think we need to be using this a lot more. So this whole section is part of your arsenal, and you need to start including that.
Mhm. I
Now-
think everybody should implement at least one form of mail out in all of their smart plans where you have an address.
Where would you, okay, Brett, where would you start on mail out? Because like what Randy said, he keeps the handwritten ones. If it was me, I'd
Right.
probably start with like a handwritten, it would probably be like handwritten postcard, something along those lines. How about you? Where would you
Sure.
start?
Handwritten postcard.
All right. same
Handwritten
thing.
postcard.
Nice.
Yeah. And truthfully, because here's the way that I look at it, Tristan. When you send a piece of mail to someone, I mean, at the end of the day, that mail, unless you're Randy and you've handwritten it and it is meaningful, he'll put it in his drawer. But for the rest of us, you've got about 2 seconds to get someone to go, huh, that's cool, and then throw it away. That's cool. That's your time where you should have something in front of them that's catchy. And so handwritten, that you're gonna buy yourself probably at least another half second to a second of them looking at it before they throw it away. Those are critical seconds. What are you going to cover? That's always the question.
Very
With past clients, they are already used to getting stuff from you. So with a past client, you can do anything under the sun. It can be reminders to change your air filters. It could be, hey man, can you believe it's been a year of you being in your home already? It could be a yearly reminder. It could be all kinds of stuff. But one postcard handwritten postcard should go out for each one of your past clients at least once.
I'm going to share this other thing. I agree with you, Brett. Now that I'm listening to both of you, I have this thing here. It's the copy of the past client drip for 1 year. But now I'm going to go back to it, and I'm going to add in here a handwritten one, because we don't have this. I probably add 2. And I outline it like this, and I'll drop this into the chat for you. But I outline it like this so I can visualize it, and then I go deeper into it with detail, right? So you can modify it before you tweak it and add it into Chime. I'm thinking handwritten letter to make an impression would probably be more between day 1 to day 30. What do you guys think?
Agreed. You can even say, it was And the way that I would do that handwritten letter would be, you know, it was an absolute pleasure to work with you. More of a thank you note than anything else.
Good idea, dude. I love
Thank
that.
them for their business, that kind of stuff. That
All
would be the way that I would do it.
All right, I'm going to add that, but first let me grab this link and dump it into the chat really quick. All right, here we go. All right, there you go, everybody. See if you can open that one. Now, let's go through, because this is just specifically for past clients now, right? What type of messaging do you typically do? Because I try to, I'm very friendly when it comes to reaching out. I misspell things here on purpose, here and there on purpose. And then I also do things like, look at this. Thought I'd try something a little different to say hello anyway. Hello, hope all is well. It's a video text, right? Easy, right? Just something out of the blue. And then I come in from a point of contributing to your life, being valuable. Hey, Brett, I just had one of my clients call me up to ask me for an electrician. If you need anyone, please reach out to me. I have connections, just remind you. That's it, right? And this is just about value. And they're just waiting for people to come back to us. So what's your style and approach when it comes to past clients?
For me, it's always about leading with value. So I'm a big believer when I close a transaction with someone, they're now part of my family, right? And so they can do things. I have tools that they can borrow. I have, like, if you need to borrow my snowblower, come on down, borrow my snowblower. Need a rake, got you covered. I make that very well known from the beginning. The very, very first thing that I used to send my clients, oh man, I wonder if I can find it. I used to send out, this was really cute. Okay, so my last name's Baker, right?
Yep.
What do you think most people, oh yeah, he bakes cookies, ha ha ha. Yeah, I've heard that all my entire life. So what I decided to do is, when someone closed a transaction with the Baker team, we would actually send you a cookie making kit. And so there was like a whole like step-by-step inside of there, and like, hey, told a little story about, like, you know, great grandmother's cookies. It was really cute. I will try to find it for you guys really fast, just so you can kind of see what that looks like.
That's cool.
But that's how I started. Everybody that closed a transaction with me got it. And that was kind of their little intro to like what they could expect from me. After that, I led with value. You know, hey, we're approaching the winter season. Is there anything I can do for you as we approach the winter season? Hey, we're moving into summer. Now it's time to start thinking about curb appeal. How can you start working on curb appeal? Ultimately, what I did was I built out about a 5-year plan. And everybody goes, holy crap, you built a 5-year plan? Yeah, because statistically, people hold their homes for about 5 years, 5 to 6 years. So at the end, as we tapered off to the end of that 5-year plan, guess what it started tapering people to do? Sell their home. So I started with lead with value as we're leading with value, and then start working into, hey, guess what? Have you had any thoughts about selling? So it was an automated workflow that just kept it going. So in California, people hold their homes. In Malibu, they probably hold them more than 5 years. But in my part of the country, people were holding for about 5 years. So I transitioned that into, now you're a seller.
Dude, that's a really good one. I love that. And to touch on what Adam was saying in regards to QR codes, because I would envision now adding QR codes to a lot of the stuff that we do in designs, right? I think here, let me just share something here. I'm going to go back and forth, because where was it here?
One thing COVID definitely impacted was the kind of resurfaced the popularity of QR codes. I personally hadn't interacted with the QR code in a very long time.
Dude, they saved the QR code.
Yeah,
they really did. They really did.
Yeah.
That's what I was about to say. If it wasn't for Apple making it easy on the iPhone.
Tristan, while you look that up, I found a letter that I used to send. So here, let me share real fast. Where did it go? Hang on. I think this is it. Okay, yeah, so it is. So let me maximize this. So, hey, Jordan, you did it. Congratulations on the purchase of your new home. I wanted to thank you again for trusting the Baker team with one of the most important transactions in your life. We're thrilled to have been able to help you get the final step of homeownership. We've helped you buy a house. It's up to you to make it a home. The way you turn a house into a home is up to you, as we're all different. For me, when I was a kid, I loved going to my grandparents' house because it always smelled like home. Later, when I moved away from home for college and work, I noticed that my parents' house started having that familiar home smell. Turns out it was my great grandmother's top secret chocolate chip cookie recipe that reminded me I was home. It also reminded me how much I love chocolate chip cookies, which today I still do. In fact, right before this call, I polished off a chocolate chip cookie. As much as I would love to come over and bake you great grandmother baker's top secret chocolate chip recipe, I can't. It's a secret. To be totally honest, my parents haven't even shared it with me yet. When they do, I'll bake you a batch. Please enjoy the chocolate chip cookie kit I've included to help you make your house a home. Blah, 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 blah. And then I led them to a website. We had a raving a Baker Team fan site that we used to have up and all that kind of stuff. And basically we finished it with, we love what we do here at the Baker Team. We would be honored to help your friends and family that are in need of real estate related services. That was easy. That's how we did. We ended every transaction with this. Even if it was a teammate doing it, everybody got this. So, and they got a cute little cookie kit.
I think that, see, that's why I love the way you do it, man, because it connects with people at a whole different level. And that's what we need to be doing a lot more of. Like letters like that, not only will they get opened, but it'll make people feel like you actually care.
And that's the idea. And we actually do care. That's the thing. So
yeah, I like that. I love that a lot. So I'm going to go back because one thing that started picking up a lot after Apple added it was a QR code. And so we go over here. You see here, I just dumped in our Chime site. Now it can lead to wherever you want, right? I dumped our main site on there. But now you would just pick up your phone and go to the camera, scan that, or just hover over it. Then that little pop-up clicks, you click it, and then now it sends them to wherever you want to send them to. So knowing that, you go back to designs and then you start designing your own thing here where you start adding the QR code, right? Yep. Now all of a sudden everything comes together because just listed postcard, just sold postcard, any type of postcard,
yep,
you should always be leading them to that specific portion of your website, right? And then when they get to ours, right, this is our Chime site,
right?
Where do we want to lead them to, right? Malibu, yeah. Westlake. Let's
also I should point out, Tristan, real quick, you don't even need that QR generator website. If you go to the URL in your Chrome browser and click into the actual URL on the right hand side, you know, there's always that star there where you bookmark, but to the left of it, there will be a create a QR code for this page icon that will pop up.
Dude, show me on your screen because now I'm flipping out.
No, I'm not going to show you anything. You see, all right, you see how, get out of the way soon. All right,
do you see how he has 24,000 unread messages? Sorry.
Oh, damn, yeah.
Guys, I'm very good at communication. Very good. The best. So you just click here, scan QR code.
Oh, sweet, dude. With the little cute dinosaur too.
Yeah, it's the Chrome dinosaur from when you when there's no internet.
Right.
There you go. Download.
All right, that's super sexy, bro. But I want a picture of Brett's cookie right in the middle.
Heck yeah.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, forget this dinosaur. I want a chocolate chip cookie.
So one more thing you can do with QR codes that we're talking about, just listed, just sold. This is a perfect opportunity to use Chime's automated listing page. And if any of you guys haven't seen this yet, I'm actually going to share my screen now.
Yeah, let me do it.
Yeah. Okay. So I'm going to actually show you. She is in our group. Her name is Aurora Courtney. She is up in Anchorage, Alaska. Not my Aurora. Different Aurora.
I know this Aurora.
So if we go to her tag Alaska, this is an automated landing page built by Chime. So whenever, when her listing went live, this is her listing. This is what it built. Of course, as I scroll around here, thank you, Aurora, for having the schedule showing on there. But this is built out by Chime. This is automatic. This is not something she went in and did. So this is a new thing that Chime has started to do. This is really, really cool.
Brett, at Randy, let's talk about this on the next webinar because that's pretty
right.
Bro.
But that's how you should be using QR codes.
What is our next? Yeah, 100%. What's our next webinar about? Let's just
with Brad.
Brad Kiger?
Yeah.
All right. So maybe the one right after that we can talk about.
You know what we should do? We should get Not my Aurora, the other Aurora. There's a lot of Auroras. You should be like in my life right now. Get Aurora Courtney from Alaska on and have her talk about how she's using
Let's
that.
do that. Done. Brett,
know?
can you connect us?
Yeah, I'll connect you guys.
All right,
So-
guys. That's a wrap for this one. Dude, it was so good going back and forth on this one.
I like that.
Love that.
I
Sharing
love-
screen, sharing screen.
That was great. Great flow.
Lots of sharing.
Lots
Love
of-
to share.
Yeah, man. We got to see your 24,000 emails that you haven't responded.
Dude,
Right.
I've had this email since I was 11 years old. So
And you're still trying to get through all of them, aren't you?
Sure.
no, I'm not trying. I'm trying to slow the
We'll see you in the next round.
Take care, guys.